As Superman.
I think it was 5 or 6. My mom made me a homemade cape for Halloween one year. First, I was Superboy to my brother's Superman because whatever superhero he was, I was either the lesser version of it or the sidekick.
That's cool.
So when he was Batman, I was Robin. When he was Superman, I was Superboy. But like any 4-year-old, it played very heavily into my psychology because, and I think that's what makes the character really resonate for so long with so many people. So he's who we hope we could be in the most dire of circumstances. But my mom made me a cape, homemade, and I wore that thing out for like 2 years. I didn't even care. I had no shame about it. I mean, I would strap it on. It had a snap right here. I'd get on my bike, just let it trail behind me. People would laugh. I didn't give a damn. I was Superman. So
you are Superman.
now I'm the voice of Superman. Yeah.
How did you wrap your head around that role? Like, what did you want to carry over from other interpretations, and how did you want to make it like your own thing?
It's a good question, and I'm trying to answer this uniquely since I've been asked a few times. But it's the character's so iconic to everyone, and not just guys. I think every guy and girl would love to get to play Superman at some point in their life. Am I right, girls? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good. Thank you. So. You try to. You can't help but have all those incarnations, especially if you're a fan of the character in the back of your head. But you can become so busy with that it distracts you from the story at hand. All you really have to work with is the script you're given, and you don't want to get too sidetracked on. Oh, but in 1937 he was more like. You just have that story. So I try to keep up. Some of the consistencies of the character that are maintained throughout every incarnation of the story, and also just deal with the script that we were given. And in this particular story, Superman it's a very mature Superman that we're seeing. He's always dealing with weighty issues, but he's very paternal towards Supergirl. He's very protective of Lois. He's very, and then also having to deal with Brainiac, who is a very intense adversary. So I tried to balance the heavier, more mature version of him with a lighter, fun, more charming sense of playfulness with Lois and other scenes.
If you had to talk to somebody, one of your fans of your on-camera work, and they've never seen an animated show before, movie, what would you say to them to give this a shot?
Oh man, well I think anybody who likes Superman will love the story. The creative team behind it's fantastic, and I think it's a great new take in some ways on the character and the story, and I think it'll appeal to a lot of different audiences. So there's no reason not to give it a shot, really. If you don't like Superman, something's wrong with you.
Who was your Superman as a kid? Was it the Christopher Reeve ones? Was it?
Yeah, he was. I mean, first it was the comic, or I remember distinctly a puzzle that I had that my mom had got me where he was battling a gorilla.
Okay.
That I still have. Nerd. Thank you. Sorry. And then the first film version was obviously the first Christopher Reeve, and I followed through that whole franchise.
So visually, there's always like the glasses for Clark Kent and Superman, but when you're doing the voice, you don't.
All
just
you have is your voice.
How'd you
Pretty naked and cold in there, baby.
You have that moment where you were like, I gotta change the pitch a little bit with Superman.
Yeah, well, totally. Yeah, yes is the answer. Is the short answer to that. But and truthfully, but yeah, it's the good part of it is that you get to show up to work in your pajamas if you want, and a lot of this more external aspects of filmmaking you get to kind of toss by the wayside. But the more challenging part is that all you have to convey character and emotion is your voice. And we recorded it first, and then they animated it, and then we came back and changed lines, fine-tuned things. So it was interesting to see, you record something ahead of time, and then it ended up that was actually a close-up, and so streaming it wasn't so great. So then you have to change to that. But having Andrea especially, who's just such a legend, and she is such an integral part of my childhood, and probably all of yours if you IMDb her, you know what I'm saying. Don't make me sing the entire Disney afternoon lineup.
No one would have jumped.
Because life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. But no, it was very challenging in terms of that, and I wanted to take it very seriously because I knew this was a character that people had so many preconceived notions about, and so I relied pretty heavily on her to shepherd me through it. And I got really into it in the fight scenes, man. Like I didn't realize you didn't have to really throw punches and kicks and punch yourself in the stomach when Brainiac did. So they laughed. They got a couple good laughs out of me in the sound booth, but I wanted to bring my best to it. So.
2 more questions, make them great. Make them super.
Yeah, sure. So do you find that since you were kind of mimicking the physicality in it, that you had to be more uninhibited while you're doing the voices and something you...
In some ways, yeah, especially in the fight scenes. But what I realized is you really have to use every part of yourself still and be even more expressive with your voice. But yeah, it was. There were times you had to give more than usual. There were times you had to give less. It was just, I was cutting my teeth on something new, so I was just learning on the fly.
For you, why is Superman still relevant after all these decades? Isn't that great?
I have to get this.
Like, just put it, Google it. That's how I found it. I'm like, I wonder if that exists, and it does. So.
Oh my God, I love it. You're just like, I'm a Google Frozen Han Solo iPhone.
Why do you think that character?
Isn't it great when you get yeses like that?
Yes.
On the World Wide Web?
I don't have to make this.
Sorry, go ahead.
So why do you think that character is still relevant, still important to kids, and obviously people have adults have nostalgia, but the character keeps renewing time after time. Why do you think?
Well, he's the first superhero, and I think he, like I said earlier, he represents what we all hope we could be in the most difficult circumstances. Our best self, the best version of us. I mean, outside of just as a kid wanting to be able to fly and run faster than a speeding locomotive, and being able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. We'd like to hope that when push comes to shove, that we could do the right thing. And I think as long as there is that hope in our society and in the zeitgeist, superheroes like Superman will be relevant.
So now that we've finally gotten you a Superman, which is awesome, is there any other character that you would like to play? I think you would make an excellent Nightwing.
That's what I was going to say. You took the words right out of my mouth. Just saying, putting it out there. Yep. You heard it here first.
Do you keep up with all the comic books now?
I try. I mean, it's my life's pretty busy these days. I'm more of a graphic novel guy, but I try.